Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you don't know which YouTube channels to use to learn German and you don't have time to sift through all the good and the bad, you found the right video. Los geht's! My name is Dustin. I'm an IT project manager from Germany, and on this channel we create content that helps us to be more productive, to learn new things, especially languages, and to live a happier and more fulfilling life. Today I will show you 20 YouTube channels, from beginner over intermediate to advanced, to help you with your German learning. I'm a native speaker of German, and since I'm also a language learner, I know what is important and what to look for in YouTube channels. So I thought it might be a good idea if I help you to find the right channels that you don't have to waste your time stumbling through YouTube. I already did a video about why it's so important to consume massive amounts of comprehensible and compelling input, and I will link it here. In a nutshell, comprehensible input means that it's the right level for you to be understood, and compelling input means that it's interesting to you. By consuming massive amounts of content, our brain will adapt and we will assimilate the language. I import all the videos I find on YouTube into LingQ to study them there and to make my progress visible. But of course you can also consume the videos without LingQ. I already did a kind of similar video like this about French YouTube channels, where I also took a look at the basics, so I will link it also here. So first in this video we will recap the basics as well, and then we will dive directly into today's topic, and I will show you all the great videos and YouTube channels that I found for you. Okay, so what to look for in general. First, we should always look for handmade subtitles. Those are more accurate and will help us to understand the stuff. But there are also auto-generated subtitles available normally. Those are also not too bad. It depends on the type of video. If the speaker is speaking slowly and clearly, or especially clearly, then those auto-generated subtitles will be more accurate and are quite useful. The videos and YouTube channels should be in German ideally. This will help us to spend more time with the language. Explanations in English can be useful, but they will reduce the time we actually spend with our target language. We want to try to immerse into the language, so it is necessary that we consume massive amounts of content in German. When I was looking for channels, actually I found many of them which were still English. But yeah, try to focus on the German ones. Real spoken German in real life situations is especially useful to prepare ourselves for speaking at a certain point in time. Of course, the content should be comprehensible, so it should be at the right level for you, and it should help you to understand by using pictures, graphics, video, face expressions and gestures and all those kind of things. Further, it should be interesting to you. It should be compelling. Okay, let's start with the beginner content from A1 to B1. At that point, it can be hard to find compelling input because you can't grasp complex structures yet. Therefore, the mini stories I link are really useful. But I found also some YouTube channels which are quite nice and which should help you out here. First of all, we start with Easy German. It has the same concept as all of the Easy Languages channels on YouTube. Most of the times the team of Easy German is out there in the streets of Berlin and is interviewing different people about a multitude of interesting topics. The nice thing about those channels is that you get real spoken language in real day-to-day situations. So yeah, that will prepare you pretty well for speaking at a certain point. At the beginning, we should aim at the super easy videos and then slowly graduate towards the easy videos. So this content can be a companion for a longer period of time. They have plenty of videos and it should accompany you throughout the intermediate stage. They also have a Patreon community if you want to get further materials, of course. And if you are also learning other languages, there are channels of the same style available in other languages, like Easy French or Easy Italian, for example. And we have ArteJunior, this time the German channel. So they have French and German channels. All the stuff that Arte is doing is mainly in those two languages. Let me quickly quote here. This is the junior channel of Arte, which is an acronym for d'Association relative à la télévision européenne. It's a Franco-German public service channel with a European vocation. Content is made for 8 to 14 years old, but actually really interesting. Since it's Franco-German, there is the same channel available in French and in German, of course. The nice thing is that together with the videos, the stuff becomes easier to be understood. At a complete beginner stage like A1, it might be too challenging. But once you reach something like A2, it can be digestible. Then we come to Natürlich German. And this channel is pretty nice because it offers real comprehensible input. Anna is doing a great job explaining things and is telling interesting stories and stuff. She's also using body language, hand movements, and is drawing on a cardboard, which is pretty cool. So this makes it really comprehensible. It has no handmade subtitles, but she speaks so clearly that the auto-generated subtitles are really accurate. This way you can easily import it into LingQ. This channel is not just for the beginner stage, but also for the intermediate. I would say her channel deserves way more subscribers and we need more learning content like that. Then the next channel's name is actually Natürlich Deutsch, which is kind of the same name as the previously mentioned one. But yeah, she's doing kind of the same thing. It's again about really delivering comprehensible input. Katrin explains stuff also in a comprehensible way, and the content is mainly for beginners, but is also reaching into an intermediate stage. Next step is intermediate to advanced content. So we're talking about B1 to C2 recently. There's more and more stuff coming, and as soon as you reach the intermediate stage, you will find more compelling input, more interesting stuff actually, especially at the lower intermediate stage. You're not at a point yet where you can just consume stuff that is made for natives, or at least you have to be careful about what you can consume, what you can understand already. So you need either channels that are made especially for language learners, or you need channels that are made in a way that they become more comprehensible, by using video material that is underlining the text kind of, and stuff that is working well together for your comprehension. Since I couldn't really find YouTube learning channels that are interesting and for the intermediate stage, I focused on channels for native speakers, but which are made in the way that I previously mentioned. I gathered a nice variety of different topics so that there should be something for everyone. So first, traveling. If you're into traveling and exploring the world, then I found the right channel for you. Marie and Jan are traveling around the world and are documenting everything. Just recently they built out their own van and they are very sympathetic and have a good video quality for sure. Further, they talk pretty clear and you will be able to understand most of the things in context. You want to sound like a native and you want to work on your accent? Then I probably found the right channel for you. This channel is called Fröhlich Deutsch, and it's about pronunciation, intonation and all that funny stuff. You can really tell that Michaela, the host of this channel, is doing her job with passion and she's very knowledgeable. It's also analyzing interesting stuff like how a foreign accent sounds in German and if you can distinguish the accents and if they have stuff in common, for example. Another great thing is that each video has handmade subtitles and she speaks very clearly. Next category, documentaries and society. Let's start with the first one, STRG_F, which stands actually for CTRF. So kind of, it stands for search and find. So if you press CTR and F, then that's a shortcut on a computer to find something. The team on this channel is doing small documentaries about interesting topics like especially like difficult stuff, controversial stuff, society-related topics. That can be drugs, theft, extremism, sects, vaccinations, and much more. It's very interesting, but it can be also disturbing, so be aware of that. Further, all the videos have, of course, handmade subtitles available. Then we have Mr. Wissen to Go, which is about exciting general knowledge about politics, history, current affairs. Videos are well made and researched, and most of the time they are not too opinionated. Only, of course, the main topic is the war in Ukraine and the climate crisis. It has been also about politics in the past, especially around the elections in Germany. So it's all centered around Germany and Europe, of course. So if you don't know what's going on in Europe, then you're definitely right at this channel. Also, most of the videos have handmade subtitles. Do you know when you read or watch something about history and you forget the time and just dig deeper into the topics? Then I've found the right channel for you. Let me quote the official text here. At TerraX, you get every Sunday exciting videos on the topics of history, archaeology, and contemporary history. Of course, commercial free and free in general. The channel is produced by ZDF in cooperation with Objective Media. So it's financed by the German people mainly through a fee that everybody is kind of obligated to pay. Applied also to the former channel I just mentioned. So this way there are many great German YouTube channels. And this channel has also, of course, handmade subtitles available. You really like science? Then I found the right channel for you. Wow, Dinge erklärt Kurzgesagt is a science channel that explains complex topics from space travel, physics, biology, politics, and philosophy, simply and understandably in animated form. Here comes every 2 weeks a new video in German. And they are really, really well made. And they also do proper research. You can find the sources of each video in the description of the video actually. Further, of course, all the videos have handmade subtitles available. Then, of course, if you're into news and want to know what's going on in the world, I can probably recommend to you the official channel from ZDF, which stands for Zweites Deutsches Fernsehen, so the second broadcast or emission on the German television. This is a typical news channel, which has also like small documentary kind of videos, and it doesn't have handmade subtitles available, and I didn't find a German news channel that has handmade subtitles, so you need to use the auto-generated ones. When it comes to comedy, then probably MySpass.com is something for you. It's mainly stand-up comedians and short video clips. So you get a huge variety of different German comedians, and if you like one in particular, you can also search for them at Google and try to find more videos. Be aware that consuming comedy in a foreign language is one of the hardest things that you can do. So don't get frustrated when you don't get the humor and when you have difficulties to understand, because they speak often very slangish, they can speak very fast, and humor in general is a thing that is very dependent on the culture. So probably the German humor is pretty different from what the American humor, for example, is. This is also, I think, the biggest German comedy channel, and it doesn't have handmade subtitles available, and I couldn't find a comedy channel that has. When you're into politics, there might be the channel DieDaOben something for you. We already had hybrid channels, which had also like politic topics, but this channel is especially about politics. The great thing is that it's, unlike many other politic channels, not dry and boring, but actually pretty compelling and interesting, without being cheap or sensational at the same time. Some of the videos have also handmade subtitles, but most of them just the auto-generated ones. Let's come to finance. So there's a channel called Finanztip, and let me quote the official introduction or the official info here. Without technical jargon and with many examples, Saidi explains everything you need to know about investing, real estate, taxes, and co. He speaks very, very clearly, like it was made for learning languages, and this is pretty nice. But also stuff relevant, or especially relevant for Germany and Europe, of course. If you would like to know what's going on here, then it's definitely the right channel for you. There are no handmade subtitles available, but speaks so clearly that even the auto-generated ones are pretty accurate. Now, health and medicine. So there's Dr. Flojo, and she's a real doctor actually, and she's explaining medical topics, starting with human body, health, disease, crazy myths, and exciting trend topics, of course. It's medicine, scientifically based, understandable, and with a wink. So this was the official introduction, and I would say she has a really nice voice. She talks very clearly, and further, there are handmade subtitles available for each video. I can highly recommend this one to you as well. Next one, workout channels. So we talked about that already in the French video, and I did not only French videos during the lockdown for workouts, but of course also German ones. My favorite German YouTube channels for doing home workouts is Sascha Huber. Well, Sascha is actually from Austria, so not from Germany, but in Austria they also speak German, and he's speaking High German in his videos. Of course they have a dialect in Austria, but yeah, when he's speaking in the videos he's speaking like standard German or High German as mentioned. Such a positive attitude and a positive energy. I bet you will like him. You won't just find home workouts there, but also like record attempts and motivational stuff. So that makes it quite interesting. There are no subtitles available, or just auto-generated subtitles, but I guess for that kind of content you will get what it's about through the context, of course. Then Mady Morrison is also a pretty big YouTube channel, pretty big German YouTube channel, and she's targeted towards yoga and stretching, so the main audience are women, but I can also encourage men to try that. No subtitles available, but yeah, I mean, you will get it by the context. You're into gaming, well, of course, GameStar shouldn't miss on your list. It's the biggest German gaming magazine, and they do reviews of games and also discussions about different gaming related topics, and they're doing high quality journalism actually, so gaming journalism, and I can just highly recommend them. Further, some of the videos have even handmade subtitles, and they publish, I think, even each day a video or something. And then let's come to series and movies actually. So what I recently found out is that there are also like full series on YouTube, like especially produced for YouTube. And there's Germany's first mystery web series in 4K actually. And there are handmade subtitles available for each episode. Further, the quality is pretty good, and it's about an app called Wishlist that grants you your wishes. Well, self-explaining, but it's kind of mysterious and it's building up also quite some tension. So yeah, well produced, definitely try it out. And then I found another channel called Projekt Horizont, and let me quote the official text here. The web format Projekt Horizont documents the journey of Sarah, Khan, Nancy, Amina, Matthias and Ingo, who set themselves a common challenge: climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa. The nice thing is that it's kind of short series, and it has handmade subtitles available. The content helps a lot to understand things, and they describe each of the characters, and yeah, so it's well made, and you should understand a lot. If you like this video and you want me to do more recommendations like this for the languages German, English, French or Italian, and it doesn't have to be only about YouTube channels, but it can be also about podcast series or movies or other things like that, just let me know in the comments. And if it happens that you are also learning French, I already did a video about French YouTube channels for language learning. Further, if you need some inspiration on which apps you can use for your language learning, I have a playlist for that as well. If you found this video useful, please leave me a like and a subscription to the channel, and click on the notification bell to not miss anything going forward. Thank you very much for watching, and see you the next time.